like the team didn't necessarily dominate on Saturday night, but they jumped out with a couple touchdowns early, 14-0. Never were really challenged in that game against Washington State that we expected to be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. I think in the crystal ball era right now, that is a blowout. I think if you win by 2 touchdowns, that's a blowout for this team. I don't think you're going to get huge point totals. I don't think the team's going to get to 40, 50 points that often. They got to 48 points against Stony Brook. They got to 41 against Arizona. They got to 52 against Colorado. But that's pretty much the top of the line. I think Cristobal is very happy with 2-touchdown win. Now, this was more than that. They tacked on a last touchdown right at the end. But very weird game, always with the Cougs. Very weird game. First pass play, they hit for about a 70-yarder down the line, right across the middle. And then the quarterback Jaden Delora goes for the reach out to the pylon and fumbles it out of the end zone. So they could have been up early, 7-0. We've seen that act before. But you know what? Ducks are patient. They know what they're doing. They're going to lean on the run game. They're going to lean on Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown ran a lot. He ran a lot more than normal last game. And they're just going to keep chugging along.
Yeah, it was a game that I watched out of the corner of my eye while I was taking calls right in this seat and had it on there and was tracking. Yes, Anthony Brown almost outrushed his own passing statistics.
I think that's where the frustration lies this year. Again, a lot of Duck fans just wish we saw an offense that was explosive. Obviously, we had the news we were just talking about with Micah Pittman leaving transfer portal. And I think there's a lot of frustration from that side of the ball on the wide receiver side that they're just not utilizing these guys. We knew going into the season that the wide receiver room was going to be one of the deeper rooms out of the whole team. And we knew that there was going to be a lot of depth there. And we knew there was going to be a lot of talent there. And they just, for the most part, have been using those guys as blockers on the outside. And they get them the ball here and there, but they just don't get the touches that they want.
And so you mentioned Micah Pittman. He's caught 12 passes this year, but did not figure into the offense as he expected. And then there are further concerns going to Utah in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I think the wide receivers up at Utah, historically you always get some weird weather down there. I think it's going to be actually pretty positive weather this week, which is nice. But, in the past, you have to win this game by throwing the ball. You can't just run the ball against Utah. They're too good. Their defense is always very solid, especially in the run game and especially up front. They have defensive ends, defensive tackles that go to the NFL. And they're just a really solid coach team. I think they're one of the better coaching staffs in the whole Pac-12. I think they do a great job. And they found something on offense this year, and now they're clicking on all cylinders. And, this is the number 3 team in the country that's going on the road, and they're an underdog.